Welcome to this special edition of McGuire's Car Crazy, coming today from the Miami Auto Museum in Miami, Florida. This is the amazing and massive car collection of Michael Desert.
We are 1,000 vehicles under 2 roofs. This is 8 galleries.
It's mind-boggling. It's filled with more than 1,000 vehicles from all over the world, including some I've never seen before.
I have no idea what this car is.
You mean our Sabra, right?
Oh, yes, that's what it is. A Sabra. I knew that.
It's packed full of classics, customs, micros, motorbikes, cars of the stars, and so much more.
You've been holding out on me. You have told me about this all day long.
We got a few surprises I told you around the corner.
Look at this.
This is a bucket list destination for car guys, never seen on TV until now on McGuire's Car Crazy. We travel the world to talk with men and women who are passionate car guys to find out what makes people emotionally connected to their cars. It's time to get to the heart of the car guy. This is Car Crazy. You immediately think of all the beautiful boats and beaches here, but rest assured, the city of Miami is certifiable. You just need to travel north on Biscayne Boulevard. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another very special edition of McGuire's Car Crazy. We're here in Miami, Florida, what's been called America's largest automotive extravaganza. It is the Miami Auto Museum. This is the home of Michael Desert's fabulous car collection. We're actually out in front of the museum on Biscayne Boulevard. All the fabulous cars in the buildings right behind us, and they are fabulous. Come with me, let's go check them out. They call it the largest automotive extravaganza in the world, and it's all thanks to one passionate car guy, Michael Desert. He's collected more than 1,000 vehicles and enough automobility to make your head spin. And the man behind the wheel at the Desert Collection is the curator, Miles Kornblatt. So here we are inside the Desert Collection with the man who knows more about these cars than anybody else, the curator, Miles Kornblatt. And Miles, thank you for inviting us here. What a treat this is.
Oh, Barry, I've just been waiting to show you all this. I mean, we are 1,000 vehicles under 2 roofs. This is 8 galleries.
It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. You and I walked around just a little bit. I've already seen about 6 cars I've never even seen before. I didn't know they existed.
That's kind of what we're going for here. 8 galleries, so that's military vehicles, microcars, some of the largest collection you'll ever see, Batman vehicles, James Bond, European classics. We've got all sorts of motorcycles, but American classics is where we have our heart.
Tell me about Mr. Desert. My understanding is he has great fascination with American metal, particularly chrome and fins and types of cars we're seeing in this room.
This is his heart. I mean, this is when he came to this country, what he saw was chrome and tail fins.
So we're not going to be able to begin to show you everything. I don't think I'm going to get to see everything in this museum. It would take days. But let's get started.
So let's do something interesting. How about we go?
All right, let's go. I'm really excited about this. There's such an eclectic display of American cars to enjoy here. And this one, well, I have a personal connection with this car. Oh, I love this car. I mean, I have some personal emotions about this car for a special reason.
Oh, our 59 Skyliner hardtop convertible. I mean, I like this, but you have a connection?
Well, the designer of this was Ben Smith. He's a longtime friend of mine. And just this last Barrett Jackson, he brought me all the original engineering drawings, pictures of all the engineers and the sketches and all. And I can't believe it's a piece of history.
That's
know?
amazing. This was the first hardtop convertible, right?
No, actually it wasn't.
No.
Would you believe on our last trip to France, we were at Peugeot at their classic collection with all their special cars. And in the 1930s, Peugeot created an electronic convertible hardtop.
That sounds like our next car to get.
Yeah, you have to work on that. That might be tough. As part of the journey through this immense space, you're led through these captivating dioramas that truly are a slice of life. Well, Miles, I love your dioramas. They're all over the place here.
It's a little secret that we have here. It takes you back to the right era, but also, if you look at the signage and things like that, those are actually all connected to Mr. Desert's family. So he really brings it into a family affair. Like I said, this is the heart of what he likes.
I love that. So, okay.
Oh, these on the other hand.
Bit of a contrast here. Brilliant paint, no paint. The engine in the back here, oh my goodness, this is a hot rod.
Now, it's an absolute hot rod, wheelie stands. You know they did it for show because it's carpeted in the engine bay. When was the last time you saw carpeting in the engine bay?
Oh my goodness. And the DeLorean, a lot of DeLorean guys around.
I mean, that's a whole section of the hobby all to itself.
Fun, collectible cars. They're really cool little things to have.
All right, Woodies. I love Woodies. I live at the beach, so I have to have a Woody, right? So
I
this
love that.
is a hot button for me.
What I love about the Woodies is I love the connection that they make. It's the tongue and groove. It's they're held together by the wood bolts.
Craftsmanship. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a real handmade car.
Yeah, and it certainly has its own feel and sound as you're driving down the road.
You were telling me there's some creaks occasionally that you have.
once in a while, once in a while.
There are so many pieces of Americana here.
Hey, this is a beauty.
Well, the Jeepster, you gotta love this. A 1950 Willys. This is when you really got to start to see that the Jeep went from a military vehicle, you know, strongman to...
Absolutely. What's this, a Fraser?
Oh, yeah. I mean, now, granted, these were connected company-wise, but you really don't see these together that much.
Boy, you don't.
And so we try to get them a little close together.
What an interesting cross-section of collector cars. And this next one is an absolute American classic.
When you want to talk about great sedan convertibles, I think I kind of led you to something amazing
Well,
here.
you know, it doesn't hardly get much better than this. Tell our viewers about the Model X.
Very few were ever made. They were done by the handful. It was an in-between car, and it just didn't quite catch because of just where Duesenberg was at the time. And so to have a 28 Model X to be one of the five that have
One of the five left.
it looks like it's in great shape, but I know I've got to dive a little bit deeper into it.
Well, if you want the expert, Randy Eam is the expert. Do you know Randy?
I will if you give me the number.
He's Mr. Duesenberg. I mean, he has all the original drawings, the dies, everything. So if you wanted to do something to this car, take it up just another level, he's your buddy.
He's my first conversation after us.
He's your new best friend, okay?
Coming up, what started it all has become the largest collection of Vespas in the world.
Even as car crazy as we are in the museum, there's still a real heart of everything on two wheels.
And the top collection dedicated to the world's favorite spy on the silver screen.
So Barry, what we're dealing with here is the largest collection of everything James Bond you'll find in the world.
Only here on McGuire's Car Crazy. We're here at the Miami Auto Museum, the Desert Collection, and we just finished walking through an amazing car collection all by itself. But I couldn't help but notice all the other rooms full of cars yet to see, from early classics to vintage sports cars, and this room dedicated to the iconic life of E.L. Cord.
I keep looking off in these different rooms, and there's all these other
So many nooks and
American
crannies
cars.
you
There's
see.
nooks and everywhere you look, there's another room.
We've got the Kaiser Darren in here. I don't see those all the time with the great doors. I mean, we've got a LaSalle that has Bogota tags on it. There's so much what if, what's going on, so much wonderment. It's nooks and crannies of you look around the corner and you go,
Yeah. And of course, the fabulous Cord.
oh, right, to continue the end of the Duesenberg story.
To explain that connection, a good idea.
Because it was Cord Duesenberg, and as Duesenberg went away, Cord was still trying to
Well,
hang on
he saved Duesenberg for a while.
for a while, and it's everybody's sinking ship was the unfortunate. It's one of those great technology unfortunate stories.
You know, we shot a show at the Auburn Cord Museum, that fabulous museum in Auburn, Indiana, and we drove one of these cars down the avenue right in front of E.L. Cord's house. And it was definitely a bucket list kind of thing.
You get that feeling, you know, it's like it takes you right back to the era. It does better than we can do in the museum
But the
almost.
technology, engineering of this car, I mean, it's an amazing car.
A front-wheel drive car in America. This is everything European that you love
Right.
in an American car.
Wow. And that fantastic collection of American cars is just the tip of the iceberg. So what ignited the car crazy gene for Michael Desert? Round this next corner and you'll learn that it wasn't a car.
This has been an amazing treat. I mean, we're wandering through all these displays for the bicycles. Help our viewers understand what we've just been seeing here.
It's truly watching the whole evolution. It's bicycles with engines attached to the side, then it becomes bicycles built to have an engine right on into where a real scooter is. You know, the cool scooters, the Vespas, their counterparts in Italy, the Lambrettas. And then you've got even the American sort of competition, the Cushmans, and then the little guys.
Yeah, the Foxy Cushmans. Well,
Style and
here we
Vespa.
are in Vespa. Now, as I understand it, this is what really started for Michael Desert.
His first wheels were two wheels. He got into four wheels and chrome as he came to America, but first thing is Vespa, and so that's where the first love sort of is. And even as car crazy as we are in the museum, there's still a real heart of everything on two wheels.
Yeah. So you have to tell me about the one with the 400 horsepower. 400 horsepower and a motorcycle?
You're not
Are you
really a
kidding me?
motorcycle anymore at that. If you drop a Chevy V8 in a cycle frame and are just brave enough to do anything with it, it is called a Boss Hoss, and it's just the most amazing thing to just lay your eyes on. I'm not daring to drive it.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
And like so many of the great collections we've taken you to, Desert has included an impressive display of military vehicles from countries all over the world.
Well, these are European cars. They were certainly driven in Europe, weren't they?
These have all seen Europe at one time or another.
Have been driven and not the best of circumstances. Tell us about this.
Well,
This is post-war, right?
Right, so this one didn't see as much action. This was more for like Berlin Wall kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But as rough as this looks, this has its fingers in the history of today's Mercedes G-Wagon. So it goes from very rough and utilitarian to almost luxury today.
You know, walking by the ambulance over there, I just think about how many GIs saw that very ambulance, you know, those kind of situations. I mean, there's a lot of history here.
And then, just beyond the aerial display and a really cool boating display, comes the international collection. Hundreds of cars from around the world, from Brazil to Israel.
This is the first time I've seen most of these cars. What are we seeing around us here?
Oh, cottage-built cars from the UK like Ashley, or you don't usually see a Wolseley. It was mass-produced, but we never came over here,
Not
so.
too many Wolseleys around.
Oh, no, we brought it over just for special for us.
Well, Auto Union, I know about Auto Union. Is this an Auto Union?
Right, it looks so similar, right? Auto Union, IFA. This is exactly what happens when the Iron Curtain goes up. When that happened, Auto Union lost their factory, and so IFA, which was basically the East German version of the new car companies.
So Auto Union's plant in East Germany,
Yes,
that's where this was being made.
exactly. They knew how to make them.
Only they looked, yeah, same workers.
Exactly. They knew how. They had the dies to make them. The other guys knew how to make them, and all of a sudden you get a similar vehicle.
Look at that.
More of the Desert International Collection when we come back, like Israel's Sabra.
I have no idea what this car is.
You mean our Sabra, right?
Oh, yes, that's what it is. A Sabra. I knew that.
And Miles holds out, surprising us with this at the end of our tour.
Come on.
And don't you go away. Welcome back to McGuire's Car Crazy. We're here at the Miami Auto Museum, which holds the Desert Collection. This amazing museum gives us a rare glimpse into so many great moments in history. There's so many names I'd never heard of before, like the DAF, Zastava, and the Lomax. But here's a mark that's more than familiar to me, the Citroen.
I love the diversity here. Can you just help us understand what do you have just in this one room?
Everything from the stuff you haven't seen, you know, the Wartburgs, the Zadastavas. We get into good technological advance like Tata, or the greatest one is the Citroen Traction Avant, and that is what we were talking about before with Cord and front-wheel drive. That's the father of front-wheel drive. really, right
Before the Cord.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the one that, and so that's the real European essence of everything.
This car, of course, we know a lot about. We were at Citroen last year. They had one of these on steroids that President de Gaulle was chauffeured around.
Oh,
in.
the sedan,
I got
yes.
to sit where President Charles de Gaulle sat as he was, you know, it's kind of cool.
Where he got saved just from the car, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that was a great
absolutely.
one.
Lots of history with that car and with this car. And
20 years, and it just stayed ahead of its time the whole time,
it
right?
really did. It really did. Okay, here's a car. I have no idea what this car is.
You mean our Sabra, right?
Oh, yes, that's what it is. A Sabra. I knew that.
From Israel, Michael Desert's homeland, comes the Sabra. Not many of these sleek little speedsters made the journey from Israel to the States, but these two feel right at home here in Miami.
It looks like some kind of Italian design, quite
It
frankly.
looks Italian. The funny thing about it is there's just a lot of other kinds of European in here. Because it started with a British design, which then was adapted for the Israelis. They wanted to make their own car. And
entirely assembled in Israel.
well, built in the UK, and then they sort of assemble in Israel. It's just sending parts back and forth and back and forth. If you're British and you love it, it's a British car. If you're Israeli and you love it, it's an Israeli car.
I got it.
And the funny thing about it is, they were all trying to send them over to the USA. These cars just got sent everywhere.
Is that right? So they made a lot of them?
Just made them by the handfuls. They went to the USA for a little while. People said, hey, we got enough fiberglass cars there anyway.
Yeah. It is a fiberglass body then.
Absolutely fiberglass body.
These specialty galleries you have, some of them are pretty good size.
You thought the Sabra was obscure. Let's just wait until I've got some real stuff to show you now.
I want to do that right now.
How cool was that? I love running into cars I've never seen after going to car shows all of my life. And the moment I stepped into the micro car gallery, it happened all over again.
This is the microcar area. And wow, you have a few microcars.
Exactly. We got a lot of littles.
Yeah, a lot of little cars. Canvas cars here, what do we got?
It's canvas over a metal frame, and just to take a look at how easy it is to repair the car, you just take a couple little snaps, and all of a sudden, you've exposed half your car right there.
My lands. What is this here?
Well, Vincent, as you know, from Pebble Beach.
This is a Wasson?
Yeah, well, it works kind of an interesting way. The name is absolutely right, but the Pebble Beach winners
Yeah.
are not like this guy.
Was this early on, long before those cars?
It went the other way, it went opposite. And so after Vincent did all their great aircraft inspired and did those amazing large cars,
Yeah.
got into little cars, got into a little trouble, becomes a Spanish firm.
Oh, this is sad.
Exactly.
No, tell me this isn't true.
This is the unfortunate end of it.
I didn't hear this part of the story from Peter Mullen when we read his collection.
I guarantee you he doesn't want to put one of these in his trunk,
I
right?
didn't see one of those Peter's collection.
And that's just the beginning of the microcars. There are hundreds of these miniature machines on display here in this gallery. Just check out this really cool three-wheeled Berkeley.
There's so many treasures. I mean, I keep using this word treasures, but it's true. Each one is so special.
It's each car, everybody who basically had a workshop and had a little bit of fiberglass made a microcar. They put a little motorcycle engine in it. It's such a grassroots cool kind of thing.
Okay, now these cars look like they're floating. They look like they just have two wheels. I take it there's a third wheel in the back. But
You found the missing element, exactly.
Yeah.
British three-wheelers is one of the coolest stories out there because what ends up happening is that in Britain for a while, if your car had three wheels, you could drive it on a motorcycle license, and so you paid a lot less in taxes, a lot less in insurance. These Berkeleys are a great example. They would have gone on forever had it not been mass production. The second the famous Mini came along, mass production, you don't need small batch fiberglass anymore. And we've got the Mini here that shows that, or if you're German, we've got the Volkswagens, we got the Izettas that took out the Messerschmitts or took out things like the Goggomobil. And it's just all the microcars and the microcar killers.
Amazing. All right, well, so much more to see. As I keep saying, I got to move us along. Our time's running out.
On to the next one of all the ones I love.
A lot more cars to see.
While the ultimate demise of these tiny treasures was inevitable, thankfully, Michael Desert preserved all of these as a tribute to their role in automotive history. Still ahead, it's an A-list collection of the cars of the stars.
If you don't like cars, you're going to find something you like in here, though, at the very least. Right.
And every collection has its crown jewels.
What it really talks about is it tells the story of Rolls-Royce.
All right here on McGuire's Car Crazy. Welcome back to McGuire's Car Crazy. Here at the Desert Collection in Miami, Florida, I've been blown away by all I've seen here and what I've never seen before. But this next Cars of the Stars gallery, well, you and I both know all of these cars. Hollywood has created characters over the years that will live on in our hearts forever. And for those of us who are car guys, many of them had four wheels.
So you're starting to get the idea of how big this place is. I mean, it is amazing. How many square feet do you have here?
We're about 250,000. I'm just thinking about one at 25,000. We just keep gallery after gallery.
My feet are getting tired, man. And I haven't begun to see it all yet. So this is the Star Car Gallery. Is that what you call it?
If you don't like cars, you're going to find something you like in here, though, at the very least.
Cars.
Right.
Very familiar car here. Talk about the cars in this gallery.
Everybody's going to find everything. If you're a kid, we've got Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. We've got an entire bedrock in just contained in here.
But I also saw the Munster car, the Back to the Future car. You've got them all here.
It just goes on and on and on.
Like the one right behind us here.
Oh, okay. See, now that one is a special one because that's a Barris car.
Interesting how George Barris, I think that he is the most famous car guy of all time because you think of all the cars he did in the car hobby. There's not a car guy that doesn't know who George Barris is. Like what he did or not, everybody knows George Barris. I know you have a great tribute to him, but really to Batman, to the Batcave. I keep hearing about this Batcave. Can we go see that?
You said it right. On to the Batcave.
All right, that's a deal.
They've actually created special galleries for the biggest characters, like the Cape Crusader that we all know and love.
Help us understand what's all here. We can't really see it with our cameras in the dark.
We've got the genuine Barris Batmobile, even the original Bat Cycles with a little sidecar that works all on its own.
Unbelievable. You have the boat down here, the Bat boat.
Iconic TV stuff, which you don't always get everywhere.
I saw George's signature on there.
Oh, George signed the little glove box lid.
So you said you have two iconic rooms coming from the movie stage and all the different things that have been done in movie production, this being one of them. So take me to the next one, all right?
Two very different heroes. Here's another great car guy.
Okay, all right, let's go see this one.
And this next gallery may well be the biggest and best collection in the world dedicated to MI6's man of mystery, Bond, James Bond.
So Barry, what we're dealing with here is the largest collection of everything James Bond you'll find in the world. We've got so much memorabilia, we've got some tributes, I mean, we've got a plane, we've got Goldfinger didn't even have a real plane. We made it real.
Is that what this plane is?
It is a tribute to Goldfinger because they only used a model. We brought it into real life.
Oh my goodness.
Every movie is some vehicle for that movie. Everything, right starting with Dr. No, right on down to Skyfall.
Really?
You're gonna see something of everything.
Talk about this car for a minute.
This is the GoldenEye DB5. It is the car that put James Bond back in his icon. This was the one used actually in that movie. And really, there's nothing better than seeing James Bond in the silver Aston Martin.
This is it. You know, there's been a lot of cars, but this is the car.
When you want to know James Bond, this is the heart right here.
It really is.
Well, they always say you should save the best for last, and apparently my new friend Miles got that memo. Look at what he had up his sleeve.
Come on. These are a few cars that you couldn't figure out where to place yet. You've been holding out on me. You have told me about this all day long. Unbelievable.
We got a few surprises I told you around the corner.
Look at this. So is there some order to your sequence here?
Well, what we're looking at here, we're going in down order. We start in 50s, go to 40s, 30s, and 20s. But what it really talks about is it tells the story of Rolls-Royce, where we have the bodies that were built in the house. We've got the bodies that were built outside of the house for the chassis. The big V12 engines. And then, of course, we've got the smaller ones, but they're still those really elegant cars because, well, a Rolls-Royce is a Rolls-Royce.
Exactly. This has been fantastic. You're totally certifiably car crazy, no doubt about it. Is he great or what? Okay, thank you so much again. Thank you.
Wow, well over 1,000 vehicles and over 250,000 square feet of space. So many cool, unique, historic, and beautiful cars to see. The Miami Auto Museum that displays Michael Desert's cars is a must-see place for every car guy, no matter what type of cars you're into. Now, if I could just find my way out of here.
This is the villain's car from Die Another Day. So, they always have keys, these cars, somewhere. See you next week.